Meghan Markle and Prince Harry recently announced the launch of next year's Invictus Games in Canada, an event dedicated to honoring wounded veterans through competitive sports. However, the announcement has faced criticism, with some observers arguing that the focus appears to be more on the couple than on the veterans the event is meant to support. This criticism highlights the challenges their new PR team faces in shifting public perception from negative to positive. A recent development has further complicated their PR efforts. Reports suggest that Meghan and Harry plan to bring their children, Archie and Lilibet, to the Invictus Games in Vancouver. These children, who are rarely seen in public, have become the center of new media buzz. The possibility of their attendance has generated significant interest among sponsors and the public, with some believing that their presence could boost ticket sales and public engagement. According to a report on Express, the Sussexes are making arrangements for their children to attend the opening ceremony at BC Place in Vancouver, which will provide guests with a family-friendly start time of 1 p.m. on February 8th. Harry and Meghan are planning to take Archie and Lilibet to help promote a new family-friendly Invictus Games, a source said. The Sussexes have been very involved with the organizational elements of the Invictus Games Vancouver Whistler events, and it was very much their idea to make this a family-friendly event so that participants can bring their children along. The Invictus Games organizers have scheduled a week of family-friendly summer and winter sporting events to encourage sports fans and wounded veterans to involve the younger generation. Archie is also earmarked to take an active role in the Invictus Games Foundation when he reaches the age of maturity. As both the founder and patron of the Invictus Games and Invictus Games Foundation, Harry is very keen to lead by example and bring his family along, the source added. A patronage will one day be passed to Archie so the foundation can be kept within the family. Harry is adamant that the Invictus Games will remain a Sussex initiative. The idea of bringing two children who are rarely seen in public to an event with numerous photo opportunities and international press has raised eyebrows. Critics argue that the Sussexes are presenting their children to the world on a silver platter. The Invictus Games were intended to honor veterans, not to spotlight the Sussexes or their children. Some suggest that they might be trying to solidify their association with the Invictus Games amid rumors that the event organizers are considering distancing themselves from the couple. If the Sussex children do attend the Invictus Games, it will undoubtedly come with added expenses, including transportation, clothing, housing, and nanny costs. Critics wonder if there will be appearance fees for the children, highlighting an unfair disparity, as similar provisions are unlikely to be made for the children of Invictus Games competitors. This is seen as another example of the will they won't they game that often precedes high-profile events, especially in the tabloids. Some argue that the Sussexes don't need to showcase their children at the Invictus Games, as the media, particularly outlets like the Daily Mail, already provide them with extensive coverage during the event. The focus often shifts from the wounded veterans to Meghan and Harry themselves, making it the Harry and Meghan show, given the ample media attention they receive. Some question why they'd bring their children into the spotlight now. Critics argue that the Sussexes should reserve such appearances for when they have no other options left, which they believe is fast approaching. The skepticism is understandable given the couple's history with planned appearances often being postponed, cancelled, or not invited.